Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. The temperatures to start this 2024 off out at PDX actually matched my temperature forecast today for Portland right on the button. We had a high of 49. We had a low of 38, which equaled my forecast. Hope you had a good day today. And real quick, especially for those of you that have taken the time to find my winter outlook that I put on my YouTube channel back around the first day of November or the last few days of October. If you took the time to watch that, I appreciate it. Two big points of that winter outlook. Number one was the fact that confidence was high. We were going to have a slow start to the ski season up on Mount Hood, and the Cascade Snowpack in general will be off to a slow start. In fact, I said that this could be one of those years where you drive up around the Christmas, New Year's vacation, and there's literally not a snowflake on the ground at times at government camp. We haven't had that in a while. I thought this could be the year that we have it, and that absolutely came true. There's been multiple days over the last 2 weeks with nothing on the ground. There's nothing on the ground at government camp right now. And the second point was that December would go on to be the most mild, the warmest month of the winter season in terms of departure above normal, if that makes sense. So, December was going to be more above normal than November would be, or February or March. In fact, my projection Fahrenheit was 4.5 degrees, 4.5 degrees above what's considered normal for Portland. The climate report for PDX is now out, and guess what? The departure in Portland for December above mean 4.5. I can't believe that, that my forecast hit that exactly on the button. I'm not so much bragging as I am just really tickled. I put a lot of work into that. I used what they call pressure correlation height comparisons this year for the first time. And so far, it's proven to be a really accurate winter outlook. And of course, there's a lot of winter to go, so we'll see what happens. So with that said, let's get you going. Starting with rain coming in tomorrow after the dry weather that we've had here recently. So this is the satellite picture, obviously. This is a surface low. There's the upper level trailing low. All of this is going to start bringing rain into the coast tomorrow morning. And I think eventually during the morning hours, rain will be picking up here in the Willamette Valley as well. The system out here is the one that doesn't come in until Friday, and we'll get into that more. This is not a strong system coming in tomorrow. In fact, the low never really pushes inland. It kind of comes toward us, and then it stalls, and then eventually Wednesday, the whole thing drops to the south into California. We'll get some cool air advection Wednesday, but not much. So this is showing you the National Blended Forecast Model. This is basically meant to look like a radar, but this is the computer modeling. Tomorrow morning around 5 a.m., light rain approaching the coast where you see the gray shading. Then the heavier moderate rain is the green color. Here we are at around noon going into tomorrow afternoon. You can see the moderate rain now starting to move toward downtown Portland. It's raining in Salem, raining up toward Kelso, Longview. And I do believe that a decent chunk of tomorrow is going to be fairly steady precipitation, which is what this national blended model shows you. Here is tomorrow evening. Now we've got still some rain in the area, but also some drying, especially over at the coast. And as we go into Wednesday, this is more like Tuesday overnight, but really not quite into Wednesday morning yet. This still shows showers in the area. Now, despite the hours of rain that I do believe is coming tomorrow, this shows total precipitation amounts for tomorrow into tomorrow night. And notice with me, generally less than a quarter of an inch up and down the I-5 corridor. Here's 17/100ths out at PDX. There's the Hillsboro, Beaverton area, 21/100ths, about the same down through Salem, and really about the same at the coast. So if this is correct, the ceiling of how much rain we could pick up daytime tomorrow through the evening would be up to about a quarter of an inch. And I think once we get into Wednesday, while showers will be likely, we're looking at really light rain amounts to add to that. So again, not a strong system. East winds have picked up out near the gorge, and they'll be gusting in East Multnomah County and along the Columbia and then East Clark County tomorrow at times to about 30, 35 miles per hour. But away from the gorge, I think the coast could see some south winds picking up tomorrow to about 20 miles per hour, but really much of the valley, we're looking at winds tomorrow to about 15. Again, dry early in the morning in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver, But I think once we get to 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, rain chances really start to pick up, and then we'll see how much we end up with. Okay, we have a dry day coming Thursday, and then the next front is coming in on Friday. So let's switch gears, and you may be watching this video for an update on the cold weather coming this weekend into next week, and this is where I'm going to start getting into that. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the American GFS model. This is the color coded, basically the air mass map, if you will, at 5,000 feet, 850 millibars. So here, I mean, it's color coded the way you think it would be. Here's really warm air up in Minnesota and up into parts of northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. Here's the cooler weather that we're looking at. This is this afternoon on this New Year's Day. This is that weather system approaching. Let me just play that into Tuesday afternoon. Here you can see Tuesday afternoon, the bulk of this weather system already showing signs of dropping south toward California. And we're still pretty mild. There's not really any cold weather to speak of tomorrow or Wednesday with this system. In fact, snow levels on Tuesday are going to be about 5,000 feet, and a Wednesday snow level is going to be about 4,000 feet. Thursday, I mentioned a dry day. Here's that system moving down into California. Here's our dry day Thursday. We'll see some cool temperatures in the morning, but nothing big. And then Friday, remember, it's the first day that brings in a front that I was telling you kind of acts like the swing door to open up the flow pattern for colder weather into next week. Well, things have changed a little bit. There's a weak system that comes in Friday morning. Now here's Friday afternoon. You can see there's cooler weather back here. There's a weak front Friday morning, and then there's the stronger front that comes in about midnight, Friday overnight into Saturday morning. So again, this is Friday at 4 p.m. You can see there's definitely colder weather out here. I mean, not extreme cold, but there's colder weather coming out here Friday into Saturday morning. Here's Saturday afternoon. Temperatures actually have a chance to be above normal. The cold punch with this Friday system is not as cool as I thought it would be, but I'm still calling for Saturday snow levels down to 2,000 feet and behind the front, and maybe as low Saturday afternoon into Saturday night as 1,500 feet. Okay, not really cold stuff, but my goodness gracious, we haven't had a snow level down to 2,000 feet in forever. This is really good news for the Cascades. All right. And then what else did I want to show you? This is Sunday afternoon, which is a dry day. Now notice there's cool weather trying to gather across much of the West and up into Canada. See that? Not necessarily anything that's going to really, speak volumes to us, but just notice, again, cold air gathering across much of the West. This actually shows on Monday some warmer up into Canada. But eventually, if I keep playing this is Friday, January 12th. This is cold air in Canada, cold air dropping all the way down to Texas. So the only point I really want you to get out of all of this is that for the first time this winter, we are seeing these big batches of cold weather gather up into Canada and at times drop over parts of the West, something we have not seen yet this winter, which means we're on guard to really track these fronts and see if finally we would get some wintry precipitation in lower elevations. This is the same model, the GFS. This is the surface map. So here's the Friday morning weak system. See the lows? This is a weak front coming inland. These dashed lines are what they call thickness contours. They're basically indices for density of the air mass. If you know the density of the air mass, remember cold air is denser, warmer air is less dense. If you know the density of the air mass, you can get a better handle on what the actual temperature is of that air mass. Okay, so that's why we look at these contours. But this is the front coming in Friday morning. And then see how it just kind of slowly moves in. So it's a fairly rainy Friday. Here is what turns out to be the significant front that I'm tracking, the first one. This is coming in. This is, let me go ahead and stop this at 4 p.m. Friday. 4 p.m. Friday, here's that front. This has the colder air behind it. It's still offshore. Again, this comes in about midnight. Here it is, Friday overnight and a Saturday morning. Here is by Saturday morning at 4 or 5 a.m. There's a snow level of 2,000 feet. Notice the flow pattern, if you follow the contours of the low, is coming in, watch my mouse, is coming in from the northwest. That's just rain at low elevations in the valley, but snow down to 2,000 feet or maybe even 1,500 feet. All right, so lots that we're keeping track of. Now, let's go ahead and play this into Monday of next week. This is Monday afternoon. Oh, I think it backed up on me. Hold on. just literally take me a second to catch all this back up. I apologize. Well, you know what? We're just going to skip that. That's okay. Here's what I really wanted to show you. This is the 850 millibar, again, the air mass map for the GFS model. And this is Tuesday of next week, January 9th. See the purple? This is Arctic air dropping out of Canada. Where you see this purple areas, this is an air mass that would produce high temperatures up in Canada, no warmer than 10 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. That's the real deal. It's big air mass, want to keep tabs on. But notice, if you're going to draw the leading edge of the front, here's that Arctic front down around the Canadian border in Minnesota, around the Canadian border in northern Washington, and then going back up. We never really get into that. Here's the front now, down into Wyoming, Idaho, just to our north, up in parts of Washington. That's Wednesday of next week, January 10th. So that's really cold Canadian air getting really close to us. But notice the flow patterns coming in from the northwest where you see these wind barb arrows, and see the low, there's that cold air still just to our north. I kind of mentioned this the other day too. So here's the cold air still to our north on Friday, getting into Friday the 12th. Here's the cold air up across Washington state, but to our north. It never really drops down into us through Friday the 13th. So we'll keep watching that. So for now, you know, when I talked to you last, there was a surface low that was basically showing us the chance, because of its positioning, of us getting some snow or ice Tuesday of next week. That surface low is weakened and it's up to the north. So that feature is gone. But what's not gone, and what was the point of all those maps, is that we're still entering a period behind that front that comes in at midnight this coming Friday night of several shots of prolonged cold air, which means there will be multiple systems that we will be tracking carefully to see if we're going to, in fact, get some ice or snow here in the valley. But between now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, up in the mountains, here's what we have. 5,000 foot snow level tomorrow, 4,000 Wednesday, 4 to 5 Thursday, 4 to 3 Friday. Then that front comes in Friday night. There's the first wave of colder weather. Saturday morning, snow level 2,000 feet. Saturday afternoon, snow level 1,500 feet. Okay, here's Portland 7-day. Rain develops tomorrow, 37 to 46. Pretty much spot on normal temps for this time of the year. Wednesday, it's light showers, 40 to 48. Yeah, actually above normal. Thursday's dry. Friday's rain and breezy, but 40 to 46, pretty normal. Saturday, showers of that colder weather, but it's a westerly flow, so we don't really get that cold temperature-wise. This is all pretty normal. Sunday's dry. And then the first time I show a snowflake on my 7-day for a possible wintry shower mix would be Monday morning of next week, but the high would be 45. And then that following Tuesday right now, I've got a potential mix again, but temperature is 36 to 42. So for now, saying the chance of any significant snow or ice in the valleys put on hold, but we are still seeing a switch to a much colder weather pattern that we'll keep you updated on. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. My weather site's portlandweather.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll talk to you soon.